Hello friends, welcome to Finance MCQ. Friends, today we will discuss the vacancies released by Power Grid Corporation of India Limited. So let's start the video. Friends, Power Grid has released the recruitment notification for Junior Officer Trainee Finance and Accounts and Assistant Trainee Finance and Accounts. Friends, these vacancies are for its various offices across the country along with its subsidiary and joint ventures. So you can be posted in any of these locations. And here the all vacancies are region wise. So like for northern region, separate vacancies are there. In that jurisdiction will be Delhi, Rajasthan, parts of UP and parts of Haryana and parts of Uttarakhand. Like this, North region 2, North region 3, Eastern region 1, Eastern region 2. Like this, different regions are covered, and wherever they have mentioned CC, it's for their corporate office which is in Haryana. So you can fill the vacancy as per your region. So for corporate region, there is a vacancy for Junior Officer Trainee Finance and Accounts. The post code is 466. There are total 16 vacancies, out of which 9 vacancies are for unreserved category candidate. Rest are all for reserved category candidate. And for Odisha region, there is a vacancy for Junior Officer Trainee Finance and Accounts. There are total 5 vacancies, out of which 4 are for unreserved category candidate. And there is also vacancy for Assistant Trainee Finance and Accounts. There are total 5 vacancies, out of which 2 vacancies are for unreserved category. Friends, these posts are for Odisha region only. Then for Southern region 2, there is a vacancy for Joint Officer Trainee Finance and Accounts. There are total 13 vacancies, out of which 7 vacancies are for unreserved category candidate. Rest are all for reserved category. And like this, for Assistant Trainee Finance and Accounts, there are total 17 vacancies, out of which 10 vacancies are for unreserved category candidate. Rest are all for reserved category candidate. So friends, the maximum vacancies are in for South region 2 for Joint Officer Trainee and Assistant Trainee Finance and Accounts. Then Western region 2, there is a vacancy for Officer Trainee Finance and Accounts. There are total 1 vacancy, and that is for reserved category candidate. So like this, all these vacancies are there and mentioned as per the region wise. And here they have mentioned all these vacancies are region specific and not interlinked with each other. These are separate vacancies as per the region. Now let's talk about the essential qualification. So friends, for the post of Joint Officer Trainee Finance and Accounts, the qualification asked is CA Inter or a CMA Inter, and they have specifically mentioned candidates with postgraduate degree or postgraduate diploma, CA, CMA or equivalent or higher education qualification shall not be allowed to apply for these posts. So the only qualification asked is CA Inter or CMA Inter. Say if you are just a BCom graduate, then also you are not eligible here, or you are having a equivalent degree like of CA, CMA, CA Inter, CMA Inter like BBA Finance or BMS Finance, etc. Then also you are not eligible. Only CA Inter and CMA Inter are eligible to apply for Junior Officer Trainee Finance and Accounts. And for Assistant Trainee Finance and Accounts, here the qualification asked is BCom with 60% marks for General, OBC and EWS category candidate, and pass marks for SC, ST, PW, BD category candidate. And if you are having a higher qualification, then also you are not eligible to apply for this post. So only BCom graduate are eligible to apply for Assistant Trainee Finance and Accounts. And at the time of making application, you have to submit an undertaking that you are not possessing higher technical qualification as mentioned above. And if you are having that qualification, then the chances are they will reject your application at the later date also. So do keep this in mind. Now some candidate may worry about that I have also done the MCom, whether I will be eligible. The answer is no, you will be not eligible for this post. That will be considered as a postgraduate degree. Now other details are also mentioned. Friends, here the upper age limit required as on 12th November 2024 is 27 years. So you should be 27 years or less, then only you will be eligible, and you have to undergo training of 1 year after your selection. And Junior Officer Trainee Finance and Account will be in the pay scale of 24,000 to 1,08,000, and your annual CTC will be 11.9 lakh approx. So that's really a good package that they are offering. And for the post of Assistant Trainee Finance and Accounts, you will be in the pay scale of 21,500 to 74,000, and your annual CTC will be approx 10.3 lakhs per annum. So that also a great package. And in your CTC, you will be paid all other benefits and perks and packages of the company as per their policies. Now there is a service bond agreement that you need to execute to serve the company for minimum period of 3 years after completion of your training. So the training will be 1 year, then you have to serve the company for minimum 3 years. years. So like total 4 years you need to serve the company, and the bond amount is that 1.25 lakh for junior officer trainee finance and accounts. It is for reserve category, and for general category student you need to execute a service bond of 2.5 lakhs as a service bond amount. And in case of assistant trainee finance and accounts, you need to execute a bond amount of 1.25 lakh. And if you belong to SC/ST PWBD category candidate, you need to execute a bond of rupees 62,500 to serve the company minimum for 3 years after completion of your training. Now application fee. Friends, for the post of junior officer trainee finance and accounts, you need to make an application fee of rupees 300, and for the post of assistant trainee, application fee is rupees 200. Then there are certain age relaxation for reserve category candidate. You can check them in detail. Now selection process, very important. When selection for junior officer trainee finance and accounts and assistant trainee finance and accounts will comprise of written test or computer based test, which will have a 100% weightage. So that means there will not be any interview. Selection will be based on your computer test, which will be followed by computer skill test, that is just a qualifying in nature. So once you clear your computer test, they will call you for the skill test, where they will check your computer skills, whether you are having a good hand on MS Word, MS Excel and PPT like this. So they will take a small test checking your computer skill. It will be just a qualifying in nature. Now exam pattern is also mentioned. So friends, here they have mentioned that your computer based test will be of 2 hours, and your part 1 will consist of 120 question from your technical syllabus, that is your professional knowledge question, and part 2 will consist of aptitude test, basically non-technical syllabus, where they will ask questions from reasoning, English, aptitude, all these categories. So like this, total 170 questions will be there, and each question will be of 1 marks, and negative marking will be to the extent of 1/4 is the negative marking here. And here the qualification criteria in the exam is also mentioned. That is, for unreserved category candidate need to score minimum 30% in each part, that is part 1 and part 2 separately, and minimum 40% marks in aggregate. So to clear the exam, you need to score minimum 40% marks, and in each section you have to score minimum 30% marks. Then only you will be eligible for the next round. And for the reserve category candidate, minimum you need to score 25% in each section separately, and minimum 30% marks in aggregate to clear your examination. And for the post of assistant trainee finance and accounts, there is no section wise clearance. So if you score minimum 40% marks in aggregate, you will clear your examination. And for reserve category, minimum 30% marks in aggregate is required. So it doesn't mean that all candidates who score minimum 30% or 40% they will be called. It's just based on the merit and the ratio they will call for the next round. See, here they have specifically mentioned for junior officer trainee finance and accounts, for 4 vacancy 15 candidates will be called, and for assistant trainee finance and accounts it will be called in 1:3 for vacancy of 5 or more. So if there is a 5 or more vacancy, then you will be called in 1:3, that is for 1 vacancy 3 candidates will be called. And skill test, as I already mentioned, it is just in qualifying in nature, and the qualifying percentage required is 50% by unreserved category candidate and 40% required by reserved category candidate in the respective region. And those candidates who qualify the written test shall be empanelment in the order of merit as per their marks in the written test. So your selection will purely be based on your written test, subject to clearing the skill test. Now important test centers. Friends, the test centers are mostly in all the region for which the vacancy is released by them. Now how to apply? You have to apply through online mode only by visiting website of the company, and all details are mentioned in the notification, step by step process. You can check them in detail as per your convenience. They have mentioned that your recruitment is conducted on a regional basis against the requirement of that concerned region. So basically there is a requirement in that particular region, hence they have released this recruitment notification, and the candidate who are selected for such position, they will not be entitled for interchange region transfer. So you cannot ask to transfer you to the another region. Basically means if you are selected for a one region, you cannot ask them to transfer you to the different region. It will be at the discretion of the management. If there is a requirement or they feel that they need manpower at that particular region, then they can post you that location, but on your own you cannot ask for transfer. And a separate merit list will be prepared for each region. So it doesn't mean that you score highest so you will be selected in any of the region. It is that the every region wise there will be a separate merit list, and in case you submit more than one application for the same post, the complete application with the latest number shall only be considered. So basically your last filled application will only be considered and not all. And in case you are having any query, you can write an email to them for resolving of your query. Now important dates. Friend, online application are already started from 22nd October 2024. Last date of submission of online application is 12th November 2024, and cutoff date for determining eligibility, that is your age, experience and all those, is 12th November 2024, and admit card etc. will be notified by them in the website. Date of written test, that's a really good thing that they have mentioned that tentatively your exam will be held in January or in Feb month, and exact date will be intimated by them at the later date. So it's really a good opportunity for my all CA inter, CMA inter and BCom graduate friends, that if you are meeting the eligibility criteria, then you should definitely fill the application form. The CTC provided by them is also high, and you will get a really good exposure working in a PGCIL. So do give it a try and apply for this vacancy, and we at Finance MCQ will help you to prepare for your examination so that you can clear and join this PSU. So do give it a try and fill up the application form. That's all in this video. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end.